All right, guys, I guess I didn't do an intro for this video, but this is before I started pulling the cab apart, but we got the front end all ripped off on the last video and the windshield out of the truck. So we are on to now pulling the rest of the stuff. I'm going to do some of it voiceover and then some of it high speed, with a little bit of music or whatever. But anyways, let's get after it, boys. All right, guys, you can see I'm just pulling the cab mount bolts out, unhooking a couple things and then moving some stuff with the Bobcat there. Getting ready to pull it out so that I can get the doors open. Tight little shop is a little tight to get stuff out sometimes, so be able to get in there, get your doors open. I just pushed outside. It was a nice day out. Not too hard to get the doors off when the fenders are off. They're a little bit trickier when the fenders are on, but one guy can do it quite easily, or I guess a guy my size. Maybe not everybody can, but just take the bolts out and unhook all your wiring and pull them off. So pulling the seats out. These weren't bad. This truck was from Arizona originally, so the truck is basically rust-free. It's only had 154,000 miles on it, so other than the dash is completely disintegrated, other than that, it was pretty good.
Hey guys, just realized that I was going to show you guys taking the dash out and I forgot. But anyways, the dash in this thing's pretty haggard, so it wasn't as much fun to take it out. Usually they're a little more rigid. This one pretty just kind of floppy around. Now obviously I have the windshield out, so this makes it a little bit easier, but not super easy. If you are doing this and you need a windshield, I would have a windshield guy come out to take the windshield out for you and then get them to come back. Yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit more money, but it'll be easier. You can clean in there. It's easier to get the dash in, somebody to help you, blah, blah, blah. And if you're taking the dash right out, I recommend taking the seats out. You do not have to, but it makes it a little bit easier because you can sit in there and kind of get in there. Now, if you're just doing the heater core, you do not have to take the dash right out of the truck. You can loosen everything, leave all the wiring hooked up, and you can just pull the dash up out of the way. The only thing with that is you want to be super careful that you don't crack the dash if it's not already cracked. Like this one is literally like, here, watch. Not very good. Okay, I realize 5-pound hammer, but it shouldn't crack like that. So the main thing is that you have your bolts that go up across the top here. They're 8mm head or 5/16, and then there is, you can see it right here on the bottom of the dash. That bolt goes right here. You don't have to take those bolts right out because it'll actually, the dash will pivot down on those. But there's that one, same on the other side. You have to take these kick panels out of the way to get in there, which is just the screws across your sill plates. And if you're taking the dash right out, like I said, if the dash isn't all brittle like this one, it's a lot easier actually. You have to undo all of the harness. So all of this wiring, if you got a bunch of aftermarket wiring, you have to undo your harness that goes up to your steering column. So you got to take all your steering column shell and all that stuff off. Not it's very hard, it's just time consuming. So it is what it is. If you're doing this, I would recommend, if you're pulling the dash and doing the heater core, like actually pulling the dash, I would personally, it wouldn't take me maybe that long, but I would slot 2 good days, especially if you're going in there, if you want to clean the carpet, you want to clean inside there, that type of stuff. I would recommend, especially if you're daily driving the thing, right? So anyways, but not too hard. But you can see, like, this thing had a massive ugly wiring, and I cut a bunch of stuff out. This is not the dash that will be going back in it, obviously, because it's destroyed. But I am going to use parts of this dash. That's the reason I didn't cut anything, well, other than the crap wiring somebody did. That is actually something I just wanted to touch base on very quickly, is if you are wiring one of these things yourself, take the time, do it nice, make it so that there's maybe the connectors so you can undo stuff if you need to take something like this out. And if you are a mechanic and you're doing it for somebody, for Christ's sake, please, if the customer doesn't have the money to do it right, just send them somewhere else, because in the long run it comes to bite you in the ass. I've learned this. I've done like hack jobs and fix stuff up for people. It always comes back and bites me, so I just don't do it anymore. Hence the reason we don't do much automotive repair. Most people don't want to do it the way I want to do it, and that makes it easy. I just don't do it. But anyways, So at this point, I'm going to pull the dash out of the truck, clean up my tools that are in here, clean up some of the wiring with some zip ties, and we are going to unhook the steering column, unhook the brake lines, and proceed to lift the cab off, because I think I have everything already unhooked that I need to unhook. I think. Guess we'll find out when we start lifting it. So I still have to strip wiring and stuff out of it. I think I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to strip more wiring out of it or not. I got to talk to Neil next door. I'm going to power wash. I got to pull the carpet out. Actually, I guess I got to do that before. I got to clean the tools up, pull the dash out of there, and I'm going to pull the carpet out. And then I'll pull the steering column shaft, or the steering shaft off, the brake lines off, and then we'll pull the cab off. So anyways, I'm gonna throw you back into time lapse, and when we get to the point where I'm pulling the cab off, I'll probably put that back into real time. Okay, see you in a bit.
So like I said, just get the carpet ripped out. I'm throwing the carpet away, shoving the truck inside. My hoist is about 3 inches too wide to pull this on and off easy, so I had to get it lined up just perfect to get it on and off. So hopefully we don't have too much trouble getting that off when we or get back on when we go to put the frame on. So coming up to the end of a basically 7.5, 8 hour day here.
Well, boys, cab is off. The only thing I got left to do to it is I got to pull the brake booster off, and I'll probably pull the steering column out, brake booster off, and then the headliner out. So that pretty much will have that tied up. I got to give it a little bit of a bath because it is a little bit dirty, and there's a couple things. There's those heat shield. I'm gonna have to take that off. Well, I don't have to, I guess. Maybe we'll leave it on there, but I need to wash it underneath a little bit. I don't know how I'm gonna wash it because I don't really want to wash it in the shop, but I want to wash it. Maybe I'll just do it with the hose instead of the pressure washer. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. I want to get it washed up. I got to get that little bit of rust cleaned up. It's just surface rust on there. We need to get that cleaned up because this thing is in really good shape and I want to keep it that way. And I got to pull the back window out. So anyways, I won't bore you guys with that. It's just some screws, pulling the back window out. I'll curse that out because it's not that much fun. That one's urethaned in. So anyways, go check out some of my other videos, guys. I got lots and lots of videos on how-to for Cummins stuff and all that type of jazz. Like, subscribe, hit me down in the comments, and remember, it's not rocket science.